What's up, guys? This is Chris from DraftDashboard.com. Here are my DFS picks for NBA Tuesday, March 24th. These picks apply for the FanDuel simulated slates. Before I get started, please drop a like on this video and hit that red subscribe button and hit that bell icon so you don't miss our new videos. In this video, I'm going to go over my top picks for today's NBA slate. And if you stick around to the very end of this video, we'll use the Draft Dashboard tools to make a DFS lineup using the picks we just made. Okay guys, real quick for those who don't know how these simulated slates work on FanDuel, everything works the same. You build a full lineup using the players available in the slate. The only difference is the fantasy points each player scores is a fantasy score from any game that player has played so far this year. Only players with at least 15 games played are in the player pool. Pretty simple. They just take a score at random from previous games that player has played, and that's it. So knowing how that works, we've added some tools to Draft Dashboard so you can see all the possible outcomes of scores from each player, and we show the percent chance that the player has to score in each point range. So pretty handy. You can hover over the Sim Scores button and see right here exactly what scores this player can get for this contest. It will be one of these at random, and then you can see what percent chance they have to score in these point ranges. Okay, let's get into these picks. Okay guys, let's take a look at the point guard position. I like Kyrie Irving, projected at 46.1 fantasy points here tonight. That's 4.8 times value. He's 9,700 FanDuel salary. And let's take a look at his sim scores. He has a 0% chance to score 15 fantasy points or less, so that's great. He has a 10% chance to score 15 to 30 fantasy points. He has a 45% chance to score 30 to 45 fantasy points. He has a 15% chance to score 45 to 60 fantasy points. And he has a 30% chance to score 60 fantasy points or more. So this guy's a lock for me. 30+% chance to score 60+ fantasy points. I love those odds. So I like Kyrie Irving here at 9,700 FanDuel salary. Okay, so a value play that I like here at point guard is Mike Conley, projected at 24.9 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5.4 times value. He's 4,600 FanDuel salary. And let's take a look at his sim scores. He has a 22% chance to score 15 fantasy points or less. He has a 46% chance to score 15 to 30 fantasy points. And then he has a 32% chance to score 30 to 45 fantasy points, where he'd be getting you over 6 times value. So I like those odds. So I like Mike Conley here at 4,600 FanDuel salary. Okay, let's take a look at the shooting guard position. I like Donovan Mitchell, projected at 36.8 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5.2 times value. He's 7,100 FanDuel salary. And let's take a look at his sim scores. He only has a 2% chance to score 15 fantasy points or less, a 25% chance to score 15 to 30 fantasy points, a 53% chance to score 30 to 45 fantasy points, and then a 20% chance to score 45 to 60 fantasy points. So I like Donovan Mitchell here at 7,100 FanDuel salary. The other guy I like here at shooting guard is D'Angelo Russell, projected at 38.1 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5.1 times value. He's 7,500 FanDuel salary. Now let's take a look at his sim scores. He has a 2% chance to score 15 fantasy points or less. He has a 20% chance to score 15 to 30 fantasy points. He has a 47% chance to score 30 to 45 fantasy points. He has a 29% chance to score 45 to 60 fantasy points. And he has a 2% chance to score 60 fantasy points or more. So he has a 31% chance to score 45 or more fantasy points. So I like D'Angelo Russell here at 7,500 FanDuel salary. Before I continue with the picks, I'm excited today because we added a new contest for everyone watching. If you want to enter the drawing for $100 PayPal, all you need to do is like this video, hit that subscribe button, and make a quick comment below to be entered into the drawing. We'll reply to a random comment and let you know that you won, and then we'll send you $100 PayPal. So it's that easy, and we pick a new winner every Saturday and announce them in our video. So get your comment in now so I can add another entry for you. Okay, who do we have at the small forward position? I like Taurean Prince. Projected at 23.8 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5.3 times value. He's 4,500 FanDuel salary. Let's take a look at his sim scores. He has a 20% chance to score 15 fantasy points or less. He has a 53% chance to score 15 to 30 fantasy points. So that's your value zone. And then he has a 25% chance to score 30 to 45 fantasy points. And he has a 2% chance to score 45 to 60 fantasy points. So I like Taurean Prince here at 4,500 FanDuel salary. Okay, a mid-range play that I like here is Jonathan Isaac, projected at 32.9 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5.1 times value. He's 6,400 FanDuel salary. And let's take a look at his sim scores. He has a 6% chance to score 15 fantasy points or less. He has a 44% chance to score 15 to 30 fantasy points. He has a 25% chance to score 30 to 45 fantasy points. And he has a 25% chance to score 45 to 60 fantasy points. So he has a 50% chance to get you 30 to 60 fantasy points. So I like those odds. So I like Jonathan Isaac here at 6,400 FanDuel salary. Okay, who do we have at the power forward position? I like Frank Kaminsky, projected at 21.4 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5.2 times value. He's 4,100 FanDuel salary. Let's take a look at his sim scores. He has a 32% chance to score 15 fantasy points or less. He has a 35% chance to score 15 to 30 fantasy points. Then he has a 32% chance to score 30 to 45 fantasy points. So I like that 32% chance to score 30 to 45 fantasy points, which would be near 7 times value. So I like Frank Kaminsky here at 4,100 FanDuel salary. Real quick, guys, I got great news. For a limited time, we're offering a full 30-day trial to Draft Dashboard. So look, guys, I know there's not a lot of sports playing right now, but we are posting a daily cheat sheet for esports for the League of Legends contests, and we just added these new DFS tools for the NBA simulated slates. We're going to be updating our tools to help you pick the best players for these sim sports, and I think these tools are going to give you a big advantage. There's no human element here. This is a stats game. This is a math problem. This is where our tools can really help you identify the numbers, the percent chance these players are going to score within these point ranges, so you know what you're getting into with each pick. Okay, and a stud that I like here tonight at the power forward position, I like Kawhi Leonard. Projected at 47.6 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5.1 times value. He's 9,400 FanDuel salary. Let's take a look at his sim scores. I mean, look at this. He has a 0% chance to score 15 fantasy points or less, a 0% chance to score 15 to 30 fantasy points, a 49% chance to score 30 to 45 fantasy points, a 37% chance to score 45 to 60 fantasy points, and a 14% chance to score 60 fantasy points or more. So what else can I say, guys? There's not a lot of risk in this play. So I like Kawhi Leonard here at 9,400 FanDuel salary. Okay, moving on to the center position. I'm going to give you a value play here. I like Aaron Baines, projected at 21.8 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5.2 times value. He's 4,200 FanDuel salary. Let's take a look at his sim scores. He has a 33% chance to score 15 fantasy points or less. He has a 48% chance to score 15 to 30 fantasy points. He He has a 14% chance to score 30 to 45 fantasy points. And the reason that I like this play, he has a 2% chance to score 45 to 60 fantasy points and a 2% chance to score 60 fantasy points or more. So a 4% chance to score 45 or more fantasy points and an 18% chance to score 30 or more fantasy points. So I like those odds. So I like Aaron Baines at 4,200 FanDuel salary. Okay, now some of you may not like this pick, but just remember guys, these are simulated sports games. Everyone's playing, even the injured players, even the players who have the coronavirus. The coronavirus doesn't hurt you in these simulated sports games, so don't worry about injuries. We had a user comment last video that Marcus Smart wouldn't be playing because he had the coronavirus. God bless whoever that was. Okay, so I like Rudy Gobert, projected at 40.1 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5 times value. He's 8,000 FanDuel salary. And let's take a look at his sim scores. He has a 2% chance to score 15 fantasy points or less. He has a 19% chance to score 15 to 30 fantasy points. He has a 48% chance to score 30 to 45 fantasy points. And he has a 32% chance to score 45 to 60 fantasy points. So I like that upside. So I like Rudy Gobert here at 8,000 FanDuel salary. If you want to try all these daily fantasy tools for yourself, click the link in the description below this video or just go to draftdashboard.com. You can use our DFS lineup optimizer to build quality lineups using our picks and your own custom player pool. Click the link in the description below this video and try all these daily fantasy tools right now. Thanks so much for watching. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that bell icon so you can get instant updates whenever we post a new video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please smiggity smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Oh, and please comment below with your favorite player for this NBA slate. I love to hear what you guys have to think. Thanks again and good luck. Okay guys, if you're getting any value from this video, please hit that red subscribe button. We put out new fantasy basketball videos every single day. So if you hit that subscribe button and ring that bell notification, you won't miss out on any of our new fantasy basketball and fantasy football videos. Tons of free stuff coming your way. It only takes a second, and it helps us push out more fantasy content for you guys to consume each and every day. It's because of you subscribers that make this possible. So thank you for supporting this channel. This is a quick reminder, you should be reading the comments of this video. We have some savvy basketball fans who watch these videos and they often give great plays and call me out when my picks are wrong. Wisdom of the crowd is a great way to get a feel for what players the field likes in today's NBA slate. We also have a DFS tool that shows you what players our members like for today's slate, so you can come on in and check that out.